Hi, this is Juan from JuanTutors.com. Welcome to my totally free office hours. Today we're working on the August 2016 New York Algebra 1 Common Core Regents, problem number 35. If you want to access these exams anywhere in the world, go to nysedregents.org, click on the appropriate tabs, and all the exams are freely available there. So here's the problem. A drama club is selling tickets to the spring musical. The auditorium holds 200 people. Tickets cost $12 at the door, $8.50 if purchased in advance. The drama club has a goal of selling at least $1,000 worth of tickets to Saturday's show. That's a ton of info. Write a system of inequalities that can be used to model this scenario. And next, if 50 tickets are sold in advance, what is the minimum number of tickets that must be sold at the door so that the club meets its goals? Justify your answer. Okay, that was a lot. Pause the problem, pause the video, try it on your own, see if you get the same answer as we do. If you do, click the like button. So here we go. They're comparing. They're talking about scenario with a theater with a certain number of seats, selling some number of tickets to raise a certain amount of money, and the tickets have a certain cost. So what they're relating is how many tickets you buy to a few other quantities. Well, I'm sorry, how many tickets are sold to a few other quantities. So we need variables to represent the two types of tickets sold: door tickets and advance tickets. So that's what we need. So that's what we're going to define. We're going to say let, and you should definitely write a let statement. Let D equal the number of tickets sold at the door. Do not say D equals tickets sold at the door. Say D equals the number of tickets sold at the door. And A equals the number of tickets sold in advance. So now we need to relate these quantities with amount of money raised and an amount of seats, an amount of seats in the auditorium to begin with. So the first condition is that the auditorium holds 200 people. Okay, so what that means is that the number of tickets, the door tickets plus the advance tickets. Well, this cannot be more than the number of tickets sold because I'm sorry, this is not cannot be more than the number of seats in the auditorium because then these people would have nowhere to sit. So this has to be the total number of tickets sold has to be less than or equal to 200. So less than or equal to the auditorium seats, number of auditorium seats. So D plus A less than or equal to the total auditorium seats is 200. And then the next one is that the amount of money raised has to be at least $1,000. So, and money is raised at the door and money is raised in advance. So, money at the door plus the money um, in advance has to be greater than or equal to the goal. Okay? The money goal. They expect you to know that, well, if you sell 12 tickets at the door for $12 a piece and you sell D tickets, so then the amount that you raise at the door is 12 times D. So this is 12 times D. If you don't recognize that, then what I recommend that you do is to try to create a table, number of tickets in one column and the amount of money raised in the other column. So one ticket, $12, two tickets, $24, three tickets, 36, four tickets, 48, and you keep doing that till you find a pattern that relates the number of tickets to the amount of money raised. And the same deal goes here. The amount of money raised in advance is equal to the cost of tickets in advance times the number of tickets sold. So 850 A, and that's it. So that's the ticket money at the door. That's the money in advance, and this has to be greater than or equal to the goal money, which is 1,000. And there it is. That's 2 points on this test. Um, the system of inequalities is the first inequality and the second inequality. That's it. So now, part two. If 50 tickets are sold in advance, what is the minimum number of tickets that must be sold at the door so that the club meets its goal? And we have to justify our answer. So tickets sold in advance, that's A. Okay? So A equals 50. Okay? And then what is the minimum number of tickets that need to be sold at the door? So they were looking for D, so that the club meets its goal. Okay, so this is the goal inequality. So 12D plus 850 A has to be greater than or equal to 1,000, where D is 50. So 12D plus 850 times 50, 50 tickets sold is greater than or equal to 1,000. Okay, you could use your calculator to do 850 times 50. That's $425. 12D plus $425 greater than or equal to 1,000. And then we use the inverse operation method to solve for D. So we subtract 425, and we get 12D is greater than or equal to 6. I'm sorry, not 6. So use your calculator. It's 575. If you can't subtract that quantity, then I highly recommend that you use your calculator. Okay, shoe fly. Divide by 12. Divide by 12, and we get D is greater than or equal to. Now this I will use a calculator. 575 divided by 12, and we get 47.916. 47.916. Repeating. Now, if you think you're done, you'll get a point for this part, and you won't get the full credit. Why not? Because the issue here is that we're missing what their question is. So the minimum number of tickets sold. So you can't sell 47.916 tickets because you can't sell 0.916 tickets. So D has to be greater than or equal to 48. The minimum number of tickets that need to be sold is 48. And if you don't say that, you lose a point. So the minimum, let me scroll down here, number of tickets sold at the door is greater than must be at, I'm sorry, not is greater than or equal to 48, because that is true, but it must be at least 48. We're looking for a minimum, so must be at least 48. Okay, um, I'm sorry, not must be at least 48. So if you catch my wording, I already said the minimum number of tickets sold at the door. It is 48. The total number of tickets sold at the door could be greater than 48, but the minimum number of tickets sold at the door is 48. There we go. So let's try this problem. This is a slightly more difficult problem created by us. Try it. Do your best. See if you get the same answer as we do. And if you do, click the like button. Listen, the way we're able to provide these videos totally for free is by having viewers like you see these videos. So definitely hit the like button, subscribe if you appreciate what we're doing for you, and let your friends know that these videos are available so that we can help out more people as well. So now let's try this problem. A Broadway theater is selling tickets to a new musical. The theater holds up to 620 people. Tickets on average cost $500 at the door with a discounted price of $400 on average for tickets purchased in advance. Believe it or not, that actually is a price that I looked up for a specific musical. So they're very expensive, in my opinion. The theater has The theater has a goal of selling at least 1.010 million worth of dollars worth of tickets in 5 shows. Sorry, this fly is just gonna keep bothering us. Write a system of inequalities that can be used to model this scenario. And then, if 500 tickets are sold in advance, what is the minimum number of tickets that must be sold at the door so that the theater meets its goal? Justify your answer. So let's do this. Let's see. We're relating again a bunch of costs and the number of seats to the number of tickets actually sold. And the variables that we are searching for to relate is the number of tickets sold. So let have the same let statements as before. Let D equal the number of tickets sold at the door, and let A equal the number of tickets sold in advance. Now I'm gonna go for in this one, just to show you that it could be done in a different order. I'm gonna go for the goal first. The amount of money raised at the door. So money raised at the door plus the money raised in advance has to be greater than or equal to the goal, 1.010 million. And we better have the same units on the left side and the right side. So the money at the door, they're $500 per ticket at the door. D tickets sold at the door. So 500D is the amount of money raised at the door. Plus, in advance, they're $400, and you sold A tickets. This has to be greater than or equal to 1.010 million. Now this has to be in the same units. 1010000 is 1.010 million. Okay, that's the first inequality. The second inequality is that we have to watch out for the capacity. So door tickets plus advance tickets has to be less than or equal to the capacity, right? And in this case, we have to be careful. It's 620 people. That's how many people are held by the theater, and then it's 5 shows. They're doing 5 shows. So in this case, the door tickets is D, and the number of the number of door tickets and the number of advanced tickets. The number sign is extremely necessary, or the word number of. That's where a lot of kids get a lot of errors. So I insist that you write number of or the number symbol. The D plus A has to be less than or equal to the capacity. In this case, it's 620 times 5. 620 per show and 5 shows. So D plus A is less than or equal to 620. 600 times 5 is 3,000, and 20 times 5 is 100, so 3,100. And that's the two inequalities, the first one and the second one. So now we go for the second part. If 500 tickets are sold in advance, what is the minimum number of tickets that must be sold at the door so that the theater meets its goal? So in this case, I highly recommend that you pause and try this on your own, because this is identical to the previous problem. So you want to test if you understood the previous problem. So let's see, and see if you get the same answer that we do. So now 500 tickets sold in advance. This is A equals 500. And we want to know how many tickets are sold at the door. This is D, and to meet its goal. So let's see, A equals 500. So 500D plus 400A is greater than or equal to 1010000. So let's plug in some numbers. 500D plus 400 times A is 500 is greater than or equal to 1010000. Okay, and we do math. You can use the calculator. 400 times 500, so 500D plus, you do 400 times 500, or you do it by math skill. It's 4 times 5 is 20. 2 extra zeros for the 400. 2 extra zeros for the 500. So greater than or equal to 1010000. Subtract 200,000. Subtract 200,000. Get everything lined up, and this is actually, we could subtract by line. 0 0 0 0, 1 minus 0 0, and 10 minus 2 is 8. Wait, what did I just say? I hope you caught that error. 1 minus 0 is 1, and then 10 minus 2 is 8. Okay, and this is greater than or equal to 500D. We divide by 500. If I divide by 500, and I recommend that you use your calculator. 810,000 divided by 1,000 is 810, times 2 is 1620. So 810,000 divided by, we should get 1620. 500 divided by is 1620. So D is greater than or equal to 1620. And in this case, this is an integer. So this is our answer. We could, because equality is a satisfactory condition, 1620 is a perfectly valid number of tickets to sell at the door. So the theater must sell at least 1,620 tickets at the door. The theater, and definitely write this down, must, and if you don't write this down, it's not enough, must sell at least 1,620 tickets at the door to meet its goal. And that is 4 points on this question. So I hope you understood it. Listen, I know you can do it. Just keep working at it. It takes a lot of work. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video starting right now.